Hey there! Welcome to SkyGems Academy podcast. At SkyGems Academy, our vision is to build a community of new generation leaders with strong core values, high level of self-awareness, high self-worth, and passionate individuals who will give back to the community and the environment. We are focused on delivering high-quality blended online learning of 21st century life skills delivered and taught online, practiced and perfected offline. Our philosophy is to inspire, educate, and nurture. We work towards inspiring and igniting sparks. We listen, we coach, we fine-tune and accelerate the mastery of 21st century life skills for various age groups. Our blended learning programs are curated from the early years to above 60 years old, as we believe in providing high-quality, lifelong learning for everyone. SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1: How COVID-19 Transformed the Education Industry. We will take you inside the minds and behind the scenes of 40 exclusive leaders and educators in the education industry. We've interviewed 40 exclusive educators and leaders in the education industry worldwide, starting with China, where the pandemic initially started. You will hear from the leaders in the education industry sharing candidly their views on the possible changes that will take place in the education industry post-COVID-19. Be sure to tune in to SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1 to listen and learn from the amazing stories, experiences shared, challenges faced, and techniques used by educators in different cities and countries to adapt and overcome their challenges personally as well as professionally in their respective roles in the education industry during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, let's dive into SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1. Introducing to you our host, Alyssa.
Hey guys, it's Alyssa. Hope everyone is keeping well. SkyGems Academy Podcast is a passion project that my team and I kicked off in early 2020. As we are all facing the unprecedented events and experiences impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, we find that there is an urgent need to unite the global community of educators and leaders to progress forward together. Our main objective is to create a platform for all global leaders and global communities to come together to document these historic moments for our future generations. SkyGems Academy Podcast is a platform for everyone from all around the world to share, listen, learn, communicate, collaborate, and come together to network and help one another to pull through this very challenging period that has impacted the global community. In each episode of SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1, How COVID-19 Transformed the Education Industry, you will find yourself immersed and engaged in in-depth discussions and thought leadership in various aspects of education, technology, humanity, diversity, disparity, and collaborations in the education space. We are very grateful and sincerely appreciate each and every one of you who has motivated us, encouraged us, contributed in your own very special ways, especially our 40 exclusive guest speakers from all around the world. A big thank you to all and a big shout out to all of you. SkyGems Academy Podcast 14th speaker is Halina Werchiwski. Halina is a very experienced educator, having worked in schools for over 40 years. She started in Australia, but is currently in Shanghai at Shanghai World Foreign Language Primary School as Principal of PYP Department and PYP Coordinator. She has held many roles including Key Teacher, Coordinator, Deputy Principal and Principal, and has worked in many schools, being in Shanghai, China for 13 years. She has guided the school towards IB authorization and subsequent evaluation visits successfully. Halina is passionate about student learning and engagement, As PYP coordinator, she has facilitated staff learning regularly and supported staff transition towards inquiry and concept-based learning. For my teachers are professionals. They are trained. Please respect them and please support them, said Halina. Now, I am pleased to introduce you and present to you Halina Werchiwski. Today, we have the honor and privilege of having a very, very special guest, a guest of honor of ours, Miss Halina. Welcome, Halina, to the show. Welcome to SkyGems Podcast, Halina.
Hello, Alyssa. Thank you very much for asking me along to SkyGems. I think it's important that people know who I am. I am Australian, currently in Adelaide, in Australia, at home, because I can't get back to Shanghai at the moment. At the moment, I'm maintaining contact with my school through online learning. I have been in teaching for over 40 years now. I'm the principal of the PYP department at Shanghai World Foreign Language Primary School, and I'm really excited to be here to talk to you about what's been happening here.
Thank you, Halina. Such a pleasure and honor to have you on SkyGems Podcast. I look forward to meeting you again very soon in Shanghai, if not in Adelaide one day. Thank you very much for your time. You say correctly, during this very challenging period of time where a lot of things are very uncertain, future is unpredictable as well in COVID-19. We'd like to hear from you. How do you feel about the COVID-19 pandemic that has hit us all so suddenly?
I think one of the words that I wrote down first was powerless, because there is just no way anything I can do. I cannot get back to Shanghai at the moment, so I do feel powerless. It's an unfortunate situation, but maybe it's timely. It's made people slow down and reassess what they're doing. And now that our students are back at school, I felt protection. I felt very protective, and I said to the leadership team, make sure you look after the kids, make sure they're all doing the right things, because we don't want anything else happening.
It is so true. They talk about being powerless, at the same time protective of people around us, people who we care about and we love them. So that is so true. The pandemic has really caused us to feel, I think, a lot of mixed emotions, isn't it? And what you said correctly earlier on, that it makes us slow down and reflect and assess the situation. What did you go through in your mind when you do that, slowing down and reassess the situation?
I think the interesting thing is that here in Australia, I've still been able to go out and walk. So I go out and walk and think a lot about what's going on and think about how can I support my teachers, because that's the important part. Our teachers are the heroes here, and we need to be able to support them.
That is so true. I mean, all of us are unsung heroes in a lot of ways, isn't it? In our day-to-day lives, within our family, within our profession, within our community. So I think it's really great to hear that you are thinking about others, about the teachers in this case, on how to help them to move forward in this very challenging time. And all of us are learning as we go along, right? We are learning every day, and we are putting up a very positive attitude and a really resilient character to take anything that come along our way to bring things forward to everyone. Thank you so much for sharing that. In terms of the current situation that we are all in, COVID-19 pandemic, what are the challenges that you faced during this period, Halina? Would you be able to share?
Okay, one of the things I think as a leader, the challenge is how do I support our teachers and how do I support our students? Now, our students have been having online classes. I have been supporting teachers by keeping in contact every day, by sending them articles to let them know that they're not alone. For our students, I really worry about our students' English levels, because we find that as a Chinese school and their mother tongue is Chinese, that if they are not at school, they tend not to speak English. So our English lessons have been very, very important. But, you know, you can notice when you talk to the students that their English levels have dropped somewhat. As far as our students go too, we worry about them whether they're submitting their work, meeting their deadlines, and of course, we have a platform for our school where teachers go on every week at a certain time, and still there are some students that are not coming online to talk to our teachers. For our teachers, they are learning. And as you said, we're all learning. And we've just said, oh, you have to do online teaching now. And while we have been sending them apps to support and whatever, a lot of them had to do the problem solving. They've had to adapt their teaching to a whole different way of teaching. And I think it's just been fantastic. You know, when I look at some of those first videos that our guys did to the ones that are coming out now. Now they're more interactive and we're using a couple of different things. And our teachers have really shown that they can adapt and learn well. I think the other thing I think we need to do while we have supporting parents have suddenly realised that teachers are actual professionals and they really know what they're doing. And I think there may be a new respect for our teachers. I hope so. One of the other challenges, I think, is that personal relationships with kids and with our staff and the parents, that sort of dropped a lot. That I was online the other day with some kids and they go, "Oh, hello, Halina," and it's not quite the same as being online as sort of those personal things where you can actually see them face to face.
Most definitely, the personal touch is important in our everyday lives. And I believe that we will come back to that one day. But I think between now and then, we really have to leverage on technology, isn't it? That's the only way to stay in touch with everyone across the globe or even within the community because of the situation we are in, depending where we are located. So you'll come back to the interaction that we used to, which is face-to-face. And I think that is something will come one day. But meantime, leverage on what we have. I think you guys are doing a remarkable job there in terms of getting things online. And the teachers, as you say, rightfully are the heroes here, getting things done, learning new things, adapting new way of teaching and improving every day. That is really amazing. Halina, thank you for sharing that. You mentioned earlier the challenges faced and the way that you changed to adapt. Would there be any challenges that has been overcome? And also, if you have done so, how was it done? Or is it still work in progress?
I think we're still in progress. Basically, because I can't be there, I have to keep my finger on the pulse. And so I have to set up different online meetings and different schedules and provide feedback. And a lot of my feedback is, through Ding, and I presume that people are reading it and then they find out they're not. So it's been a little bit touch and go, but we are sharing resources, we are sharing apps, we're sharing articles, and by keeping in touch as often as we can, we realise that, we still need to work together. And so that's a thing in progress, and we're working on that yet.
Thank you, Halina. Definitely. I think work in progress is a good mindset to have. Even if you have overcome certain challenges, I'm pretty sure there'll be new challenges that we face every day that we need to overcome. So the work in progress mindset means we continuously improve, we continuously look for new ways and being resourceful to get things done. That's excellent. Halina, what would be the lessons learned so far in the journey? Would you be able to share?
Okay, I think it's taught us that we have to adapt. We have to adapt and change sometimes is inevitable. And it doesn't matter if you fail. We all make mistakes. We might not communicate something properly. And what we do is that we say, okay, we'll go back and we'll do it better next time. I think it's also, we have to sort of think, well, am I really happy doing what I'm doing? And sure, I don't particularly like the online stuff and it hurts my eyes. But I've had to adapt too. And so, a lot of that sort of stuff, it's ongoing. And, I think everyone has to learn to be happy and try and get on the best way they can.
I think, you're absolutely right. It's the mindset of being agile to adapt and be open enough to try new ways of doing things, isn't it? That's all what we need to have.
Exactly.
Halina, in the education industry that you have been for 40 years, there's rich experience there that you have. I really appreciate your time and sharing. You've probably seen a lot in the education space. We were just wondering your feedback and also your viewpoint on how COVID-19 has changed the education industry. What are your views of the changes that will take place in education industry post-COVID-19? What are your thoughts on that?
Right, I think especially since we're a PYP school, we always talk about, oh yes, we're going to try and move towards student-centred learning. And I think this has given us an opportunity to try it out. We're doing some things online, we're expecting the kids to do it. And one of the things that we haven't been able to do is that if a child doesn't do it, we can't, according to the Chinese government, they say if they don't want to do it, they don't need to do it. So we're up there and we're trying to encourage the kids to become independent and more student-centred, more responsibility on the students. Some of that responsibility has been taken up by parents, but I think it's been an interesting experience. We've had a Year 5 do their exhibition journals and post them every day. And it's really interesting to hear their thoughts about how, because they have had to do it just about all of their own, only with mentors advising them, but they still have to go back and try again, that they have learnt quite a lot and learnt how to work together. So that cooperative stuff has been really, really important. I think there's more respect for teachers from parents, and that's a really good thing in lots of ways. And, you know, I see it very much here in Australia. Our parents are going, my goodness, teachers should be paid millions of dollars. But the other thing, I think, that it's built resilience in children. You know, the children realise that if they don't do the work, they're responsible. I'll try and do it. And, you know, those students who are really self-motivated have really done a fantastic job on most things.
Excellent. Wow, that is very insightful in terms of your observation and of viewpoints. I think, as you mentioned earlier on, students as a center of learning and building resilience, and also a sense of cooperation and collaboration has increased. That's amazing. And teachers rightfully said it is so respectful for teachers as a profession to start off. And I think more importantly is their big heart to serve. They are so generous in their knowledge, their skill sets, and to serve and to educate students and learners at large. So that's really a great observation, and also your sharing. Thank you, Halina. Halina, would there be a new normal for yourself?
New normal? I guess I would be encouraging our teachers to embrace the technology that they have learned to enhance their teaching. Embrace it and try and improve by using technology. And, you know, as I said before, I've seen our teachers, you know, their first videos to their week 16 videos have just improved so much. And, you know, you just know that they're learning. And, I think the new normal will be just making sure you just keep up those relationships as well, because they're very, very important. And keep encouraging those students to be self-managed, manage themselves, maybe by doing half and half, you know, some online, some not online. You know, there are lots of possibilities that people can do.
Thank you, Halina. Thank you for sharing your new normal. That is great insights to what we should be looking at in the future. Halina, now we come to a very critical part of the podcast. We actually want to hear from you. What would your messages be for the future generations?
Okay. Well, I'd just say embrace your life. Enjoy it. Take the time to enjoy it. Find a happy balance between work and play. Never stop learning. Value people and their relationships. And finally, for my teachers, teachers are professionals. They are trained. Please respect them and please support them.
Very well said, very precise, very specific. Thank you, Halina. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for your time. This has been a great honor and great privilege to have you on SkyGems podcast. Halina, once again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you, Halina.
Okay, thanks.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode at SkyGems Academy Podcast Series 1 on the topic of how COVID-19 transformed the education industry. If you enjoyed today's episode and you love the vision and mission of SkyGems Academy, can you please help us to convince others to tune in to SkyGems Academy Podcast too? Please kindly subscribe to SkyGems Academy Podcast. Please also kindly leave a quick review and rate SkyGems Academy Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Breaker, and various SkyGems Academy's podcast channels. That would mean the world to us, so thank you so much for your support. Visit our website at www.skygemsacademy.com to find out more about our distinguished speakers and about SkyGems Academy. We appreciate you and your continuous support. Thank you for tuning in to SkyGems Academy Podcast. High five and peace out!